The American Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, is in Kyiv, one of those visits where he just pops up there. There's no announcement in advance that he's coming. And he is announcing another $1 billion in military aid and in cash to the Ukrainian government. We don't know, Alistair, how close the White House is to running out of cash. The blank check that the previous Congress gave the president was $113 billion. Some estimates say he spent 48. Some estimates say he spent 68. Some estimates say he spent 100. It's one of these crazy things about American bookkeeping. Nobody really knows what he spent. But Tony Blinken is there supposedly with $1 billion gift to the Ukrainians. How is this received in Moscow? Public display by America's chief diplomat showing up in wartime in Kyiv with a check for $1 billion.
It's very badly received, because they just see that inevitably the West doesn't get the message. And I think this is one of the things that concerns me, having done ceasefire negotiations. And the most dangerous thing that you have is that when you persuade one of the parties to make some gesture, even if it's a small gesture, to indicate a willingness to talk or to come to some sort of an understanding about the future, and the other side immediately sees this as weakness and doubles down on it. And I think this is the great thing that Putin is against. He's been very careful. He's waited till the offensive has come to a full stop and failed. And then he's waiting to see what's the US and what's the European response to that. And the answer he's got is escalation. More money, more weapons. And of course, he has to answer that in some way. And he will answer it. He's been very careful to do this. But this is always a thing. When you make a gesture by sort of pulling back, you stop. That's what happened in Kyiv, really at the outset of this conflict. I mean, they weren't going to take Kyiv with the force that was there. It was 40,000 people. It's about enough to fill the Piazza del Popolo in Rome, not to take a city of 3.5 million. It was always obviously done as a sort of message saying, look, I'm serious. Can we have an agreement? And the answer was no. And the agreement remains no.